Star Wars casting has always been pretty straightforward. If the story features a wise mentor, George Lucas selects a renowned actor with a commanding presence to carry the movie. For a feminine leader, he looks for a strong and feminine actress. A cynical smuggler? He casts the real-life Han Solo.
Are you looking forward to watching a Han Solo movie as a fan?
Not really.
But this was not the same for Mace Windu. In his case, Lucas just created a badass character tailored for a badass actor. In other words, Samuel L. Jackson came first, with his character adapting to the actor. And to us prequel lovers, that cool attitude made Windu one of our favorite meme victims.
Take a seat, young Skywalker. It's the one that said bad motherfucker.
Forgive me, Master.
We have surveyed all systems in the Republic, but have found no sign.
Windu's earliest appearance dates back to a 1973 two-page outline, in the first Star Wars tale called Journal of the Whills. It details the adventure of C.J. Thorpe, who trains to be a Jedi and becomes apprenticed to the legendary Mace Windu. He'd remain forgotten for 20 years until 1994, when Lucas dug it out in preparation for Episode 1, making him one of the key figures of the Jedi Council, which in the rough draft of The Phantom Menace consisted of only 3 Jedi Elders: Mace Windu, Yoda, and Ki-Adi-Mundi. As that number later increased, concept artists worked to create Jedi of different races. Among them was this early artwork of Windu, featuring the face of ILM modeler Steve Applin. At that same time, Lucas was involved in the casting process. In the case of Windu, we know that rapper Tupac auditioned for the role, but died in September 1996. He was likely determined to cast a black actor for the role, an idea he'd already considered for Han Solo. With no candidates in sight, Lucas found his Windu by a stroke of luck. On December 6, 1996, Samuel L. Jackson attended the British show TFI Friday.
The L in my name stands for livid.
He expressed his interest in being part of the new Star Wars movie, which was in pre-production in the UK at that time. Word eventually reached George Lucas, who invited him to his ranch in March 1997.
He's like, what is it you like to do in Star Wars? I said, I don't care, man. You know, I can be a stormtrooper. You can put a white helmet on me. I just want to run across screen and say I was in Star Wars. And he's like, we'll find something, don't worry.
Finally, on August 1997, Jackson joined the cast to shoot in London, with no idea which character he'd play or how significant his role would be.
So I got there and they said, well, you're going to costume fitting. So I go in this room and there's a pair of boots and this girl comes in with these Jedi robes and there was somebody else's name on the door. So I figured they were just bringing that guy's costume in. Then she came in and said, okay, put the boots on, let's try the robe on. But I said, oh, wait, so I'm a Jedi? She's like, yeah. And then somebody came in and they gave me some sides and I go, who is this? And they go, well, Mace Windu is you. Oh, and I'm talking to Yoda? Okay, all right.
Regarding his look, Lucas discarded the previous concept for Windu, whose design was later recycled for Rig Nima from the Clone Wars. Instead, he opted for a more natural and original appearance for the Jedi, as Jackson's bald in real life. But when it comes to his portrayal, there's a defining aspect that truly makes Windu unique. The purple lightsaber was a specific request from Jackson. This is the story of how he got it, told by the man himself.
So I'm looking at the scene and I'm reading about it and I'm like, I need a way to find myself in this fight. So I go to George and say, can I have a purple lightsaber? And he goes, why?
Good guys are green and blue, bad guys are red. That's just the way it works.
There's no purple lightsaber?
You might get purple.
Then when I came back for some reason, we were ready to do something, he said, oh, I got something to show you. And he showed it to me. And he said, it's just an experiment right now. I don't know if we're going to keep it. And it was there. But somehow or other, even though he had done it as an experiment, it was already on the website. So I could find myself in that big fight scene in the middle of that, there's like 300 lightsabers in there. There I am right there.
Some of you may be curious about the choice of purple. It just happens to be Jackson's favorite color, so he often requests for his characters to have some purple prop. and apart from the iconic blade, the crew engraved his saber with BMF on the hilt, in reference to the legendary Jules Winfield.
That's it. That's my bad motherfucker.
The appearance of a purple lightsaber, which was spoiled in the trailers months before the theatrical release, took us all by surprise. In consequence, action figures prior Episode 2 depicted Windu with a blue blade. This is the case of those from the Episode 1 toy line and the sneak preview, released as a promotion in late 1998, and which was the first figure released based on the prequel trilogy, together with the battle droid with Stap. Windu also wields a blue-bladed lightsaber in several comics, such as in Jedi Council Acts of War, and in 2 issues of the 1998 Republic series, which were recolored when reprinted in 2010. But Windu isn't just a badass Jedi with a badass lightsaber. He is a key figure in Anakin's turn to the dark side, serving as his final test. A rhyme to the Death Star throne room, where Luke succeeded while Anakin failed. The duel itself was a hell of a work for all the team, considering the fact that both combatants had only 4 days to practice. While Jackson could keep up with what was expected from his character, the same was not the case for his partner.
Ian is a classical Shakespearean actor. You know, the last thing in the world that he can do or wants to do is be a Jedi Master. You know, he is not a Jedi Master. He's got to be even more powerful than the Jedi.
The question then is, why not use stunt doubles for a more spectacular fight? Lucas didn't want to overuse them, as too many CGI faces could distract the audience. Instead, with the presence of Ian, he had to adapt the fight to him.
It was always our idea to use the 2 stunt doubles to do the majority of the work, but George really was reluctant to do that.
The thing of it is the fight has to be changed. You can't change Ian, you got to change the fight. Well, I think we can do a digital face, but I don't think we can do it like, in a waist shot.
Because of that, he made it a close-up battle to give it a more intimate, personal feeling. In the case of Jackson, Nick Gillard developed a very specific fighting style for him.
I was thinking about a style for him, but it's Sam Jackson's style, that he has so much style of his own. Mace, it has a dark side to him too. Mace is always going to attack, and if he gets within 3 feet of you, you're likely to get killed.
When it came to Windu's final moment, Jackson had only one more request.
Sam Jackson wanted a very spectacular death, so that was the only thing he requested of him, in a purple laser sword. He just didn't want to be killed in the dead of night, stabbed in the back or something.
And it didn't happen, so I'm happy.
And he spent the whole shooting day having fun with it.
He had to jump out of a window, and we were going to put him in a harness and everything else. Nick would turn to him and say, "What are you talking about? You're not going to have a harness. You're a star." And that's all they did all afternoon. Sam just kept on jumping off the balcony and jumping right into the mat.
Oh my God, I'm awake. It's morning.
Let's now delve into Windu being truly dead, and the chances of Disney resurrecting him in the future. As of now, the Star Wars website states that Palpatine definitely killed him. But since the sale of Lucasfilm in 2012, other equally important characters that we believe to be so have come back. We know from the script that Mace fell only 20 stories. And though he had his arm chopped off and was struck by lightning, we've seen higher jumps in the franchise. At least that's what Sam Jackson himself believes.
In my mind, I'm not dead. Jedis can fall incredibly high distances and not die.
Driven by his passion for Star Wars, he has expressed on numerous occasions his desire to return to the franchise, even as a Force ghost. He even said so directly to George Lucas and Kathleen Kennedy.
I know you're all in my corner on this. We know Jedis can fall from incredible heights and survive. So apparently, I am not dead. Mace Windu is awaiting his return. Let's make it happen. Kathy, you're sitting right there. I know you know what to do. All you gotta do is say the word.
And even though Lucas apparently agrees, the question here is not if he could come back, but if he should. A great deal of it would depend on how they pull that off. It would be not believable for Mace to go into hiding for 20 years and then randomly show up.
Master Windu.
You survived.
Surprise, motherfucker.
As already said, Jackson's very interested in reprising the role, given that Windu could have survived the fall. In addition, there would be a great deal of stories to tell, such as how he survived in a possible reunion with Boba. But we're missing a key point. His death remains a fundamental aspect of the plot. As with Palpatine, Windu already served his purpose by dying. Anakin's arc took place over 3 movies to reach this crucial moment. Windu represents his final choice, leading us to believe that Windu's death symbolizes the fall of the Jedi, partly provoked by their own mistakes. Ultimately, his revival would completely undermine the meaning of his death, and thus the emotional impact of Episode 3. Mace Windu is the embodiment of the Jedi of his time, of their arrogance and lack of compassion that led to the fall of the Order.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, citizen. These matters are for the Council to discuss.
I understand.
The way he treated Ahsoka and Anakin has caused some fans to dislike him, but if they do, it's simply a result of good characterization, as Windu is all he's supposed to be. But if you believe he's a badass in the movies, wait till you see him in the 2003 Clone Wars series, where he's portrayed slightly overpowered.
I'll try spinning, that's a good trick.
This show also reveals that Windu caused Grievous's cough after force crushing him. But after the Great Disney Purge, this was explained as part of Grievous's new cyborg body. Mace seems to be getting some love in 2024, with new material coming up in which he features as a major character. This includes books, a potential series, and toys. Still, there's no news whatsoever about him returning in live action. Comeback or not, I believe we have to be grateful that Sam Jackson got to be a significant part of this universe. An actor expressing such love and passion for a role is not something you see every day.
No matter what I do the rest of my career or what I've done up until this point, there are a lot of people that this will be, the height of my career. That this will be the one thing that people will never forget. This will be the one thing that's kind of like everlasting, because it'll be part of something that's way bigger than anything else that I've done.